All right, let's see what we got today. Are we live? I think we are live. Just wait a second. Once we start to see the chat roll in is when we know there's people in the GBFC transfer news live. There were 60 people waiting, which is a nice little chunk of you. Not saying you're chunky, because that's fat shaming. I'm just saying it's a nice chunk of you. Yo, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? What another brilliant Chelsea day we have in store. And we're here on GBFC for another hour, 2 hours, maybe 3, who knows? Let's see how the stream goes. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel. Or should I say, yes, guys, welcome back to another Chelsea transfer news live. We are live on GBFC, going through the headlines in the middle of the day. I've been thinking about, with all of these uploads, the best way to maximize the schedule. We have got the early morning UK time upload, which is you either see it as you wake up or when you wake up it's there. We have then got the midday stream, which is this one, which is followed by about an hour after the stream, another video. And then we have any updates or big dropping news later on in the day. And then in between all of that, who knows what I come up with. Like, I've been thinking about some mad stuff. Started production today. Well, not production. Started development of a brand new idea for some really cool, I'm not going to tell you what. Shootout, by the way. Me and Eunice's new channel, we're nearly at 10,000 subscribers in about 20 hours, which is unreal. So yeah, welcome to the stream. To each and every one of you. We have got a couple of upgrades to the stream that I want to know your opinions on. We have got the basis of the news down here on like a little scroll in text. And then we've also got here, just here, you guys, so that we can see what you guys have to say. So we've got a lot of news to go through today. We've got a hell of a lot of news to go through. And we're going to start off by putting the opening story, because I'm not going to start with Lavia. We're going to start with one that I think probably makes us all pretty happy at this point, including the player, the club, and the club that are signing him to. As you can see here, Chelsea have reached verbal agreement in principle with Galatasaray for Hakim Ziyech transfer. Deal subject to further details and also medical tests, as Chelsea are careful after twists with PSG and Al Nassr. Hakim Ziyech is finally on his way out of Chelsea. I'm going to quickly Google now, how much money does Hakim Ziyech earn per week at Chelsea? Hakim Ziyech is on 100 grand a week. So once again, £5.2 million per year. Chelsea now knock off their wage bill for a player that was literally, like I said in my video, taking up a car parking space at Cobham, boosting the emissions to levels it shouldn't be at Cobham. Beautiful part of the world, sorry. And now Hakim Ziyech looks to be on his way to Istanbul, on his way to Galatasaray. I think that's a good move for him. I think he'll like it there, and I think they will appreciate him a lot. I think Hakim Ziyech is one of those players who has a lot of ability, really wants to be appreciated as a footballer, and he probably deserves that, to be fair. Just at Chelsea, it's not really gone the way that he would have liked it to. But what can you do? What can you do? Welcome to all of you that just joined. We're going to be going through the news. We're going to be going through your questions. We're going to be going through everything. I've got the Women's World Cup semi-final that England are winning right now against Australia to my left, which is also where you guys are in the chat, where my thumb is right now. You can see your messages coming up. You can prioritise the super chat messages too, as there was a lot of you guys yesterday in that category. A viewer, let's see. We're nearly 1,000 people watching already. That is what we love to see. I'm going to quickly just put on Twitter that we're live. 199,000 Twitter followers. Guys, I'm 1,000 followers away from 200k on Twitter. If you don't follow me, make sure you do. Does that go to the video, or where does that go? Yes, it does. And it's live. So yeah, Hakim Ziyech to Galatasaray. I'm pretty sure we're all relatively happy with this one, aren't we? I don't really think any of us see that big of a future at Chelsea right now for Hakim Ziyech. Let's change the tweet just so that we can see the developments of this deal as to the way it's going today. Galatasaray have now already booked medical tests for Hakim Ziyech as next step of the deal after agreement with Chelsea. To me, I don't think this one can go wrong now. We saw that Ziyech may have been on the way to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia. Didn't happen. We then saw that Ziyech in January, obviously this is backwards. I said it the wrong way around, but whatever. Ziyech was going to go to Paris Saint-Germain in January. It was a deal that I think everyone was going to be happy with. And I'm pretty sure Chelsea screwed it up. So Hakim Ziyech was just there chilling out basically towards the end of the season. I think he is one of those guys who kind of just really do show what has happened at Chelsea. Like, it feels as though the squad that we just had, the fact we won the Champions League just seems like more of a miracle the longer you look at the problems that we had during that time frame at Chelsea Football Club. How we won the Champions League amidst all of this was absolutely bonkers. We have now got to try and see if we can send Romelu Lukaku there as well. First super chat of the day. Thank you very much to Badir Aldame. When Lavia and Olise become official, is there any point going for anyone else this window? I personally think we are set for a few windows. This is the thing in football, okay? No matter what you think about the squad that you've got, no matter how great you think it is, there is definitely a window of time where players just seem to stagnate a little bit. You always, even Man City, who won a treble. This is the best way to explain it. I think stagnation is probably a bad word to use. Manchester City win a treble. You would look at that squad and think, well, we don't need to do anything to this. You do. Even if they wouldn't have sold Gundogan, even if they wouldn't have sold Mahrez, looks like Laporte is now going as well. If Man City wouldn't have sold those guys, they'd have still needed to bring in one or two players just to keep things ticking, keep things fresh, keep players on their toes. And I think for Chelsea, for us to sit here now and say, yeah, we're set, we're good, we don't need any more transfers. Look, there is one small little thing here that we all need to remember. We haven't won a Premier League game yet this season. We've bought all the right players. On paper, it looks amazing. It looks brilliant. But until it translates to results on the field, then we need results before we can back anything up and say that we're set for a long time. We don't need to sign any more players. That is very premature right now. So, yeah. Let me just enter the live streaming deck on this screen. Welcome to those of you that just joined. We are going to be live again for the long haul. Romeo Lavia news we are going to talk about next. I guess we've gone through Hakim Ziyech now. No one really cares about outgoings, do they? We just want to see the players who are coming in. So, let me adjust this. I think I've got this live streaming thing down now a little bit, you know. Like, I've got all of the screenshots prepared so that we can roll through the news. Let's take a look at this one to do with Romeo Lavia from Simon Phillips. Romeo Lavia's flight from Brussels to London expected to be at 11 a.m., which is an hour ago now. So 1 hour ago was the flight scheduled from Brussels to London. So he should be there now. Player turned back to Belgium on Monday after choosing Chelsea, waiting for the final agreement to happen yesterday between both clubs. Medical test and signature today. This pretty much confirms the deal for Lavia is done. We've had the here we go paperwork and everything. It's pretty much ready. It's just signing the contract now. The agreement's already there. Lavia's agreed personal terms. Southampton are happy with the offer that Chelsea have made. And it's about passing that medical, getting Lavia in the door, and then out the door, hopefully for a little celebration, and then in for training tomorrow so that we can be ready potentially to see him make his debut against West Ham away at the weekend. So that's great news. Romeo Lavia is probably right now in London. Thank you again, Badir, for the donation. I also want you guys to help me choose what to have for dinner in this stream today, because it is 7 p.m. and I've not eaten yet, and I don't want to eat too late, so I'm probably going to have to pick something up from an order during the stream. A lot of people want to see a 4-3-3, and I totally understand why. That has so much exciting potential. Did anybody manage to get a match kit? Let me know that, actually. I want to know if you guys have got the new kit. Thank you, Shepo, for the donation. Shepo Motsunyani. I don't know if I pronounced your name properly there. I do apologise, but thank you for your donation. Apakaba. Apakabai. Kamu. Apakaba. A curry with a cobra. What an odd thing to say. Kai Chamberlain with the donation, £2. Thank you very much, sir. Going to get another tweet up for you guys to see now regarding Lavia, just so that we can go over this one again. If you didn't see the news video from earlier today, this was Fabricio Romano's pinned tweet on Romeo Lavia. Romeo Lavia to Chelsea. Here we go. Deal agreed between clubs on a final fee short of 60 million, add-ons included. Structure also agreed. Lavia will undergo medical tests this week, just informed by clubs that the agreement has been reached. Romeo said yes to Chelsea on Monday. We've had such an amazing few days, really, haven't we? Chelsea Football Club confirming Caicedo after that saga. You know, it was pretty incredible in terms of the way that it was. It was chaotic, it was Hollywood, it was blockbuster, it was everybody's eyes in the footballing world, and even outside of the footballing world. When you got people that don't like football, they just look at the numbers being involved and they're like, what, for one player? For one guy? That's the feedback that people that don't know anything about football, that don't care about football, that's what they say. But it was blockbuster news. It was trending worldwide on multiple platforms all weekend. To lock that one in, then Lavia as well, and Olise, who we're going to talk about shortly as well. Michael Olise is set to join Chelsea Football Club. Big, big news. I've also just realised I can actually edit my videos doing it the way we're doing it here with this stream. I can literally just put the flipping tweets on the screen. Amazing. Get some satay for dinner. We're going to do some polls for you guys to help me choose my dinner, because I've got a few ideas. Off the top of my head, I'll tell you what I was thinking. I was thinking either a katsu curry, chicken katsu curry. Can't really go wrong with that. And then, curry and a cobra. Yeah, I get it now. I've been away from England for too long. Cobra is in the beer. Sorry. It's just me living in Indonesia. It's gone to me head, mate. It's absolutely gone to me head. And then the other option I was thinking about was maybe like a Thai green curry. Something like that. I like spicy food, like mega spicy food. Like, I'm a bit of an animal when it comes to the spice. Let's go and take a look at a bit more news regarding Romeo Lavia. Lavia's medical. This is very exciting. Romeo Lavia in London today in order to complete medical tests as Chelsea player after 53 million plus 5 million deal agreed yesterday. So if we're doing the maths here, 11 a.m. to Brussels. I'm actually going to do the maths here. How long does it take to fly from Brussels to London? 1 hour and 15 minutes. So Romeo Lavia technically should be landing in 8 minutes' time. We give you all the details here on GBFC. We do the maths. We do the lot, mate. 8 minutes' time he lands. He's probably on a jet, to be fair. He's probably at some airfield in the south of London or somewhere in Surrey. And then he's going to go to Cobham. We probably won't get an announcement until late tonight, I think, on Lavia. If the medical probably won't take too long, but then the media stuff will have to be done. We saw that the gap between Caicedo arriving at Stamford Bridge and then the announcement was about 5-6 hours, I think. So could be another late night for me here on GBFC, but that's absolutely fine. I don't mind it. I love it. When will match vlogs be returning? I mean, the match vlogs, that is the one thing I can't really do. I need to make significantly more money in my life to be able to afford to fly back and forward from Bali to London just for a Chelsea game every time. I'll try and do a match vlog when I'm back at the beginning of September. Once the transfer window is closed, I'm going to take a little, not a break off YouTube, but I'm going to take a trip to London. Still be videos, but I'm going to take like a 10-day, 2-week trip, try and fit in a game or two whilst I'm back. Am I confident in Pochettino? You bet I am. Super confident in Mauricio Pochettino. Let's take a little look here at some Olise news. Chelsea are finalising the details of an agreement for Crystal Palace forward Michael Olise. This would complete, I think, the ultimate trio of signings for Chelsea this week. Massive. Or got some pictures. Moises Caicedo is training. We have got the first images from Chelsea of Caicedo training. I'll get those up on the screen for you as soon as I possibly can. It is a thing of beauty. We love it. Let me get this little picture here. Get his shoes in there as well. Come on. Things you love to see. And then I'll download it. Man, I've got this rhythm right now with streams that I've never had before. Like, I actually think I kind of know what I'm doing on OBS. We've just had a big donation from David, $6. Thank you, my friend. It's very kind of you. I'll put the pictures of Caicedo up in a second. Connor still have a place. Doesn't feel like he's still one of our own. I mean, he's still one of our own until he's sold. And I do think we have to keep an eye on whether Conor Gallagher stays or not, because I wouldn't be surprised if he did stay, because he's been impressive. Ahmad, thank you for the donation also. Should Chelsea sign Martinez as a backup keeper for Sanchez? Martinez is a better goalie than Sanchez is. So that means that Chelsea would be trying to spend money on a number 1 goalkeeper, not a number 2. Right, here we go, guys. These are the first images. Put it over the GBFC sign for now. This is the first official image of Moises Caicedo training at Cobham. It's a big one, this. How true is the story of the swap deal of Raheem Sterling and Musiala? It's not true in the slightest. It was funny, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing in that whatsoever. Why did I shave my hair? Totally off the topic of the football, but I will tell you anyway. It was to look like a football hooligan. No, it wasn't. It was, if you live in a foreign country, I was traveling quite a lot when I first did this as well, and it's just, hair is just an annoyance. Like, especially when you're on camera all the time, you don't want to have spots everywhere. And because it's so hot and sweaty all the time because of the temperature, it's just annoying. Hair gets in the way, and I just decided to get rid of it. And it wasn't growing. Like, I was trying to grow my hair. It looked like trash. So I just said, well, if it's not growing, then I'm out. Let's just get rid of the whole lot. Still, Australia 0, England 1 in the Women's World Cup semi-final. Can England make it to a World Cup final in the women's football? We will surely hope so. Why do I not want to live in London anymore? Look, if you're in London right now, the cost of living is an absolute joke. Like, an egg here costs me like 3 pence. In England, an egg costs you what? Like nearly £1 or something? It's outrageous. Little things like that, right? Also, the weather. People in England are not happy people when the weather is bad. I don't like that. When you can live somewhere that is warm, sunny, even when it's raining, it's still warm. People that live here just are happier generally. And I think the quality of life that you have is dependent on the environment you put yourself in. And again, I totally understand. I'm in a position with the freedom with what I do for work that I can actually just leave England and go somewhere else. I get that that's not the case for everybody. But in my case, that's the choices I've made, and I'm very happy with that decision. Hopefully that answers your question. Do I think Lavia will start? Yes, I do. I think at the moment with, I think Chukwuemeka is not really locking that number 10 role down at this point. We're bringing in Olise, who can play in that role, but he's not fit until the end of September. I do think we will see Chelsea use a 3 midfield. I'd love to see it too. Shepo, thank you also for the second donation. You got very close to the pronunciation. This team will be ready to challenge from next season. We just need to relax and watch the growth. You know what? It's very diplomatic, and I think it's actually correct. I think you're right. I think for us to get too carried away this season and expect to win the league would be silly. I do think we should be able to challenge now with the team that we've got, the manager that we've got, the energy that we've got around the club right now. I don't see why we can't mount a challenge. And if you look around us, I know it's not nice to look at other clubs and use injuries as like a put yourself above them on a pedestal kind of vibe. But De Bruyne is now out for Man City for a while, 4 months. Arsenal have got no real good striker right now. Eddie Nketiah, all right, but he's not going to win him a Premier League. And they've also just lost Timber. Liverpool don't have a defensive midfielder. Man United look awful. They didn't look good in pre-season. They looked dreadful against Wolves. I don't know how they managed to win that game. Cheating. But yeah, Chelsea, I think, are in a really good position now to kick on. What happens with Santos and Caicedo? Well, Cesare Caicedo has gone on loan to Leicester. That is confirmed. He's done media duties at Leicester. He's got the shirt on. He's there at the King Power. So Caicedo's on loan this season. I think he'll have a really big year in the Championship, playing at a club that should be at least comfortably in the playoffs this season. With Santos, it's going to be interesting. I think there's definitely still a place for him in the squad. Oh, England nearly scored again. But game time is obviously going to be tough now. But Chelsea do see him as a star for the future. Thank you, Ian, for your donation. How are we signing an injured player? I don't understand how football medicals work. So if it's something that both clubs are aware of prior to the medical taking place, then they can just do tests for other things around the injury, is what I understand. I was thinking this the other day. I actually looked up on this a little bit. So yeah, because the hamstring injury that Olise has is very easily diagnosed and identifiable, both clubs can work within that parameter to sign him. Sahil, thank you very much for your donation, my friend. Biggest follower from India. Awesome content. Thank you. India. And I want to give a shout out here to 3 countries specifically. And I want to know if you're from these countries, because over the course of the last month, the amount of viewers I've had from South Africa, Nigeria, and India have gone through the roof. So if you're from any of those 3 countries, welcome. I hope you're enjoying yourself, and let it be known in the chat that you are from there. Are we selling Maatsen? I think there's quite a few Chelsea players right now that maybe we shouldn't sell. Maybe we don't really want to sell. But if the right offer comes in, I think Chelsea will contemplate selling. And I think Maatsen could be one of those guys. All right, there's quite a lot of you here. Indonesia? You're with me? All right, cool. Yeah, I can see a few of you now. Love it. What do we think of this, by the way? Wait, I struggle to get the right... Here. Moises Caicedo. Look at him. He looks great, doesn't he? Big up Benson from Ethiopia. Big up to each and every one of you. Especially those of you that have hit the like button on the stream. You guys are the real MVPs. The real ones. I love the streaming, man. It's such a new dynamic. And with Shootout now as well, me and Eunice are going to be doing some dual streams. There's going to be a podcast coming to the Shootout channel. It's going to be big. We are in for a massive year. GBFC 2 as well, the second channel. It's going to have FIFA career mode. Maybe some Ultimate Team. There's going to be... I can't even say it actually because someone will steal this idea. But we have the best Football Manager series planned. That I've not seen anybody do anything as good as what we're going to do. Ever on Football Manager. It's going to be so great. So you guys have got loads to come from me for the rest of this year. The rest of this season. This is the upgrade year. This is the big dog year. We move. Okay, let's take a look. Scroll through Twitter, see if there's any updates on anything. Oh, wow, okay, this is interesting. Football Daily have just tweeted 7 minutes ago, Roma are exploring other striker options to Duvan Zapata, which include Chelsea's Armando Broja. The striker is unlikely to leave Chelsea this window, and he's expected to compete with Nicholas Jackson for the starting striker spot. It's a fascinating one, really, the striker thing at Chelsea, because if for whatever reason Chelsea do accept some kind of offer for Armando Broja, then what the hell have we got up our sleeve? Because surely there's no way we can even, at this point, consider selling flipping Mason Burstow, because we've not got enough strikers at the club. What is the shootout? It's not the shootout, it's just shootout. Shootout is mine and Eunice's collaboration channel, where we're going to be uploading pretty much daily content about everything football. And we're nearly on 10,000 subscribers in one day, which is just madness. Madness. So we've got a video going out later on tonight about Liverpool, with a Chelsea spin, of course. It's a good one. Which one do I choose, Cucurella or Maatsen? I choose Maatsen, personally. The only thing I would say is maybe Maatsen could be a little bit lightweight for the Premier League. He's not really got the height either. Opinion on Gallagher leaving. It's a tough one, because so far, you could argue, since pre-season and the Liverpool game, he's been the one we've been the most impressed with, in terms of it just being like a randomly surprising, I guess you could say. Oh, got 2 donations that have come in. I'll catch those in a second. Oh my God, what a goal! What a goal from Sam Kerr! Oh my word, that is a goal worthy of any World Cup semi-final. Chelsea's Sam Kerr, by the way. Chelsea women's Sam Kerr has just scored. I don't know why I'm celebrating this as if it's like something I'm happy about. England women are shell-shocked right now because Sam Kerr has just buried one. Top corner. What a goal that is, honestly. I don't know if you guys are watching the Women's World Cup semi-final right now, but that is just outrageous what I've just seen. Let me catch those donations now. Badir again, thank you. Let's get it settled. What was the better saga, Enzo or Caicedo? I don't think anything beats the Enzo saga with the way Caicedo chose us over Liverpool. Look, I think the Caicedo saga was... I'm just looking at this goal again quickly because this is absolutely top draw. Wow, what a goal. It's 1-1 in the semi. Yeah, I think the Caicedo saga, because of how intense it was and how it was so up and down from a Chelsea perspective, I think I prefer, in terms of like entertainment, the Caicedo one. The Enzo one was just a thing of beauty at the end, as was the Caicedo one. Love from Saudi Arabia, welcome. The other donation was Ian again. Oh, we've got a couple here. We were linked with Ryan Cherky earlier in the window, and he also said he would want to join Gusto. Do I rate him? I do rate him a lot. I love him, but it looks like Olise, sorry, is coming. I'm watching from planet Mars, better than Earth. Thank you, Arsenal Fever, for the donation. That was actually one of the best goals I've seen in a long time. It's a sensational goal in a World Cup semi-final as well. England's goal was nice too. You can't find Shootout channel. Let me drop a link to Shootout in the description so that if you guys do want to go over and subscribe, be within the first 10,000 subscribers, then you can. I'll put it in there now. I'll put it above the FPL League. Subscribe to Shootout. My stupid keyboard, I need to write @ symbol in Google and then copy and paste it. It's so annoying. Okay, let's put that there. Oh! Sam Kerr is on fire here. The handle says the Shootout because we couldn't get the handle Shootout, but it's actually just Shootout. We're not calling it the Shootout. Wow. The Australians in the crowd here are going absolutely insane. Insane. is GBFC2 started yet? Not yet. I'm probably going to wait a few weeks first because we've got so much content to do right now on the main channel. So at this point, if I did any more work right now with Shootout just launching and 4 or 5 videos a day on GBFC, I think I might literally forget to sleep. So, yeah. Will Madueke get minutes if Olise joins? Yes, he will. The reason he will is because we will probably see Olise play in the middle in a number 10 role whilst Christopher Nkunku is injured. Corner for Australia. Oh, it's nearly gone straight in! This is actually an unbelievable game of football, you know. Australia are bombarding England right now. England have got to ride this storm. Yosmar, thank you. Cheers from Miami. Shootout is amazing. There's only been 1 video so far, but there is plenty more to come. I promise you that, my friend. They must be bloody nervous, you know. This is a World Cup semi-final these ladies are playing. Can I always post our training? I don't know what you mean by that, Lindsay. But you don't need to ask me 50 times, pal. Who am I more excited for, Caicedo or Lavia? I think Caicedo is a more important signing for Chelsea. So I think that's one that I think we should probably look at as the most important. I think Lavia is one of those signings that maybe wasn't necessarily necessary, but the Caicedo one 100% is because of what he brings to the team. His profile is exactly what Chelsea need. He can play in a 2, can play in a 3 potentially for us. The second channel should be a podcast, otherwise wouldn't you repeat content? Well, not really, because the second channel is not just about Chelsea. Josh Grimes has rocked up. I'm not watching the Ashes. Is that still even on, mate? Bloody hell, you need to get out of the house more. I'm watching England-Australia women's. Any update on Lukaku's departure? Right now, there is not any updates on Lukaku, which it's just a bit annoying, really, isn't it? Like this, we can't get rid of this guy for love nor money. Like, and there's certainly no love left in this case. Interesting. So, Mohamed Kudus is currently in talks with West Ham. Ajax have added Manchester City talent James McAtee to their shortlist. Oh, England nearly score now. In case Kudus leaves the club. I think Ajax are basically just accepting now that Kudus is going to leave. Don't think Chelsea are going to go back in for Kudus because Olise is pretty close. Let me get the Olise tweet back on screen for you lot. We're going to remove Caicedo for a minute. Although if you guys really want to look at him, you can. I'll bring him back up. Spurs want Lukaku. Spurs want Lukaku. No. Oh, sorry. I shouldn't take the piss out of spelling mistakes, but that one was a funny one. I don't understand why. Why would Tottenham want him? Like, I just think the problem with Lukaku is the smell that he just leaves everywhere he goes. Like, there isn't a single club in world football now that have... Oh, and England nearly score again. What a game this is. There's not a single club in the world that have any love for Romelu Lukaku anymore. Like, maybe West Brom could be the only team left that can be like, yeah, Lukaku. So glad we had him for a while. Look at this striker. Nah, mate. Romelu Lukaku is cursed. He's toxic. To say he's cursed is me being nice. That's implying that he didn't do anything wrong and he's unfortunate. No, he's the idiot. It's his attitude that reeks. Oh, they're in again. Australia. It's end to end. It's quite stinky. He would be great at Stoke. I actually can't stop watching this women's game of football. It's also England in a World Cup semi-final, by the way. Back to West Brom. Imagine. Oh, go on. Go on, she's in. Lobber. Oh, they scored. They actually scored. It's 2-1 to England. And it's Hemp who has scored. England are 2-1 up. Sam Kerr is frustrated. She's heartbroken. It is a monumental goal in the history of women's football for the country that I am from, England. Massive goal. 2-1. Awful, awful Australian defending. They're great going forward, but clearly at the back there's something going on. Going wrong, should I say. There's not really much going on. That's the problem. But it's a lovely ball forward. And England are winning 2-1 in a World Cup semi-final. Poor goalkeeping. What an assist. That's an unbelievable assist. It's gone the length of the bloody field, I tell you. Everyone's still frothing over Australia's goal. Good old Elliot Hackney. It's coming home. I'm going to give that a little like. And a retweet. Why not? I don't think we need anyone after we get Olise, except for maybe a goalie. We do need a second choice keeper because Slanina is on loan, Kepa is on loan, Bettinelli I don't think is a good enough goalkeeper to be a second choice. If something happens to Sanchez. Would I consider... Well, wow, let's start that again, shall we? Would you consider starting a podcast on Spotify? Absolutely. Shout out from Barbados. Barbados. Do love Barbados. A soft spot in my heart. Best Chelsea 11. Why spam, bro? Why are you spamming me, bro? What are you doing? Keep Lukaku for this season and see how it plays out. I mean, I'm going to put this as a poll. All right, we're going to do the first poll of the day. Would you give Lukaku, I can't believe I'm even saying this, another chance? So tempted to put the two options as no and no. Just to force you guys to see some sense here. Isn't it mad to think just a couple of years ago we were ranting and raving about this guy. Heck no. I mean, it's insane, right? Guys, I want all of you that are in the chat right now to vote on this poll here. Would you give Lukaku another chance? This was his second chance. I mean, you're absolutely right. Although the first time around it was kind of unlucky. Like, he missed the penalty in the Super Cup against Bayern Munich. And then after that, it was curtains. Gone. Mourinho just didn't want to know. Was it Mourinho? It wasn't Mourinho. I can't remember who it was now. Why are we even talking about him? No, I genuinely just want to see, like, I want to see how many votes we can get and what the percentage is that say yes. And then I'm going to ask a question to those of you that have said yes. Like, mad. Sign Kudus. Kudus brings goals. Kudus brings assists. It would be a massive coup from Chelsea. Who would you rather have, Connor or Lavia? Look, I think it's a tough one. Like there's definitely some bias towards Connor in a way, because to have a player that wants to be at Chelsea so badly, who is also really talented, works really hard for the team, was one of the only players last season who didn't down tools and basically give up on the season. I really like Connor. I really do. I think he's a really good footballer. But Lavia is just like, I think the ceiling that this kid has, like he's an amazing dribbler, brilliant passer of the ball, great tackler. He's 19 years old. You know, there's a reason why everywhere Joe Shields has gone, he has done everything he can to bring Lavia to that club. And this was even when he was a teenager. Like, he still is a teenager. He's 19. So I think there's just so much potential with Lavia. We should swap Gallagher with Olise. No, Chelsea need to get more money for Gallagher. If we wanted 50 million, At least right now he's playing like a £50 million player. So we shouldn't be looking to swap him for Olise because Olise is worth 35 million. That's his release clause. That's what we're going to be spending on him. So we can't go just swapping him when the value match isn't there. Thoughts on Santos being sold rumours? Look, I think there's definitely a possibility that a lot of these Chelsea players that we've bought in, especially the youngsters, won't ever make it at Chelsea and will just be sold for profit. And I think that is kind of the balance as fans that we need to get used to. And that is that Chelsea Football Club can't play every single one of these players. There's not any way that the 8 or 9 central midfielders that we have right now can be mainstays at Chelsea in the long run. It's not possible. But it is about giving ourselves the options to make the money. Look, if we sell a few of these guys in a year and make 100, 200, 300% profit on them, then if there is a player and a position that comes up in the next few years that we're like, right, we really need a £100 million striker. The only way Chelsea can do that and facilitate that is by making money on players. But I think Santos is going to be massive. Go on. Go on, England. Deflected. England corner. Thoughts on Callum Hudson-Odoi? It's a shame, but he just isn't very good. Well, that's not fair. He's a good player. Just not good enough for Chelsea. Nowhere near. Never was, in my opinion. All right, let's have a look, see if there's any news. I love how whenever I stream, everything goes very quiet on the Chelsea updates front. All right, so we've had 600 votes on the poll. See if we can get a few more of those in. I don't really think it's going to change much. Nobody wants Lukaku at Chelsea. Shock horror. We've known this for a while, haven't we? Waste man. What a waste man. Oh, Australia. I feel like there's definitely at least one more goal in these last 12 minutes of this semi-final. Sam Kerr, dangerous ball. What did I miss today's topics? Well, there is already a news video on GBFC. And we're live now, just seeing what happens in the middle of the day. There's a new strand on GBFC where we just sit here, have a little chat. We go through this stuff at the start of the stream for the news that we do know, and we see if anything breaks. Who do I think will play as number 10 now? I wouldn't be surprised. Watch this space that we see Gallagher tried out as a number 10. I wouldn't even be surprised if we saw it against West Ham. I mean, Caicedo's going to be ready. Caicedo and Enzo will definitely be playing. Whether Lavia will be ready to start or not. He didn't play at the weekend for Southampton, just gone because his head was obviously focused on the Chelsea move. So we could see Caicedo, Enzo pivot in a 4-2-3-1, and maybe Gallagher start as a 10, or maybe he puts Chukwuemeka there again. Carney wasn't bad. I think people, because I gave him one of the lowest ratings in the team against Liverpool, people think I thought he was bad. I didn't think he was bad. I thought he could have imposed himself a bit more. I want to see him getting on the ball a bit more and being a bit more clinical when he does have it. I do believe that we can win the league. Bold statements being made here. Well, goal keeped. But sometimes when I'm live, I say the weirdest broken English. Road to Shore called me a decent footballer. When are you playing again? Did he? Where? Where was that? When am I playing football again? To be honest, like, I kicked the ball around the other day. I had a little kickabout. I've still got it, you know. I've still got the techers. I've got the 40-yard pingers in me. That's about it. I got a good shot and a good pass. That's all I got. But yeah, I do want to try and play again soon. Who are we getting as a second for Sanchez? There was actually another guy, a goalkeeper that I saw. I can't remember his name now. But Chelsea were linked with someone that I saw the other day. United and Liverpool do not look impressive. They don't. You're right. You're absolutely damn right. Petrovic, that was the guy. Petrovic. You guys are good. You guys are on job. I was slacking there, sorry. I mean, I'd love to see a 4-3-3. It would be amazing to see Lavia, Caicedo. Sorry, we got to say it like Lavia, Fernandez, Caicedo, LFC. I mean, that actually is just so poetic, isn't it? So poetic that Chelsea have signed the 3 players that Liverpool were desperate to sign, and it just so happens that all 3 of them spell out Liverpool Football Club. Mad. Mad, mad, mad. Ivan Toney to Chelsea in January. Look, if we don't sign a striker now, this window... Oh, Australia should have scored. Yeah, if we don't sign a striker now, going for Ivan Toney in January is a brilliant idea. I think he's one of those strikers that you bring in and you're guaranteed goals in the Premier League. I think he would be a fighter. I think he's going to have a massive point to prove after this ban for gambling. I think he will... I think he'll definitely be one to watch. And I think he's actually a really, really good player, Ivan Toney. Guaranteed goals. And in the Premier League, for around 40 million was the rumoured fee that Brentford would possibly be able to be willing to accept. Ivan Toney would be incredible. Australia are getting close to equalising here. Armando Broja. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think when Broja is fit, he'll be given a chance. But then if he doesn't take that chance and show that he can be a top striker who scores goals every week for Chelsea Football Club, then Chelsea might be in the market for another striker. Victor Osimhen next summer. I mean, we're talking some lunacy here, but it's Chelsea, and I wouldn't be surprised by anything. I love Victor Osimhen. I think he's incredible. You really want the Lavia deal to go through? Well, I don't think you're going to have any problems with that. I think the medical's probably being done pretty soon. The flight should have landed from Brussels to London about 25 minutes ago. Let's go. Yes, new donation from Ian Gallagher, Bakayoko, Fernandez, Caicedo, GBFC. That's actually well put. But Bakayoko's gone now, so Timmy Bakayoko's no longer at Chelsea, but well played. Good try. It's a really good try. Has Ziyech gone? No, the medical is booked at Galatasaray. Let me put that news back up on the screen. Ziyech's a weird one. It's always going to be like what could have been is the phrase I was looking for with Hakim Ziyech. Brilliant moments, like the goal he scored against Tottenham was sensational. Guys, give me some recommendations as to what I should order for dinner. Sam Kerr's missed again. This is actually insane. Insane. Never liked Ziyech. No passion at all. I think he's just one of those players, to be fair. Like, I've said this many times on the channel. He just looks like he's in a mood all the time. And he just looks like the kind of guy that, like, if you were to meet him, you wouldn't get on with him. It'd be tough. I mean, that's a very unfair assumption to make. I'm literally just clutching at straws here because he doesn't really have that many expressions, I guess. But that's just the vibe I get. And, you know, like there's a lot of players that have said great things about him. Come on, England, hold on. They're defending like warriors right now. Oh, I love that. Go on. Oh, they're driving forward. It's him. Oh, what a ball! Lovely through ball. Oh, they scored! It's 3-1. England are going to the World Cup final. What a moment for women's sport in England. It is 3-1 in a World Cup semi-final. Against Australia, the hosts are crashing out of the tournament. Don't order food, just cook something nice. Well, how can I cook and stream at the same time? The channel might be cooking, but I can't create food out of that, okay? Sam Kerr's got her hands on her knees. She's not happy because England have won it. A third goal with 4 minutes left. This is too big of a mountain to climb now. The hosts are crashing out and England are going to the final. Timo Werner to Chelsea. Imagine. I actually really like Timo Werner, you know. Brilliant pass. Pie and chips. To be fair, pie and chips is actually a decent idea. Steak and chips is also a pretty solid one. To be fair. Babi Guling. I actually could order some Babi Guling, to be fair. But I did have rice for my lunch. It's a tough one. GBFC cooking stream. You never know. Lauren James will be playing in the final. Yes. Now, I sincerely hope that Reece James doesn't fly to Australia to watch his sister in the final. I mean, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, Reece, but don't do it, okay? We need you on Saturday. Please. Katsu Curry. My man knows. Timmer, you know, bro. I'm thinking a Katsu Curry could be the overall winner here. I'm also thinking... Let's take a little look at this one. I've got some news here from Simon Phillips about David Washington through Nizar Seller. New signing, of course, from Santos. 20 million euros the total for this one, which is not cheap. Chelsea spending 20 million on a striker when you need a striker. He's 18 years old. Is he ready? That's the question. Probably not is the answer. But who knows? If he can't get other targets... Who knows? Chelsea will now weigh up whether or not to send David Washington on loan to Strasbourg after he completes his medical today. We're probably going to see an announcement from Chelsea for Washington, possibly sooner than we see for Lavia. Although I don't know how extensive the media responsibilities will be for Washington when he signs, but I'm pretty sure Lavia will have a big video plan from Chelsea because 60 million quid is a big, big coup. Man, it gets so cold in this office, you know. The new aircon. We've literally invested in everything for this. Australia putting the ball in, headed away again. England's defence has been phenomenal in this World Cup semi-final. But yeah, with David Santos, I don't think he's going to end up staying. I think it would be... It's one of those where it's like a Datro Fofana situation where I think we wanted to believe that David Datro Fofana was going to be someone that we could use last season, that could get us a few goals when we just couldn't score. But he just didn't have that cutting edge. The Premier League is different. You know, he's made a really good start for Union Berlin in Germany. He's done very well. But he just wasn't great when we watched him play in the Prem. Like, there was one game, I think it was, against Southampton where he was really good, and then I think someone hoiked him off at half-time, some idiot. Washington is a striker, yes. And if you do a bit of research on Washington, right, you get excited about it. There's no way you can look at what this kid can do and not be excited about how good he could be. The problem is, right, to be Chelsea's striker, 18 years old, totally unknown from Santos in Brazil. I mean, it's an incredible story, but I think that's probably all it would be at this point in time. David, that trophy final didn't really get a chance. Yeah, but I think I agree with you, but I still don't think he would have been the right guy. How many players have we sent to Strasbourg now? Just one. Strasbourg, I think. Sorry for my pronunciation. Just one, I think, at this point. You should be a commentator. Imagine GB and Jim Beglin. I actually always wanted to be a commentator on TV. Maybe one day. I've done it before. I've done radio commentary at Gloucester City football matches. Fun fact. It was about 10 years ago now. Blimey, it was more than 10 years ago. What the hell? Mad. But yeah, I've actually done radio commentary of a game. Got some really good feedback, actually, too. 4-3-3. Who would the front three be? It would be Mudryk on the left for me. Jackson and Noni Madueke, I think. The G is silent. Thank you for that information. I was unaware. Would I consider having a debate with Mark Goldbridge? Absolutely. I'd have a debate with anybody, to be fair. It's just whether people would want to have a debate with me. Is there enough to gain out of the situation? Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying Goldbridge is like that. I've actually never asked him to collaborate with me, to be fair. I don't think I have anyway. Diego Moreira, what is it about him? Chelsea seem to really like him. Like, he seems to have fitted in really well with some of the other players in the squad. Would I like to be on the Joey Knight podcast? Actually, me and Joey have been talking a little bit about doing a collab together. I think Joey's really good. I think it's a breath of fresh air seeing him come into the Chelsea YouTube space. I think his opinions are really good. He's really articulate. And I think I really like the look of his videos. And he knows what he's talking about. Seems like a good geezer. Never met him before, but definitely would be down to work with him, for sure. Spicy king prawn chow mein. The only problem with king prawns is it's just a faff, innit? It's just a big faff. I want some news. I want some new news. What is this news about Barcelona? Why can't I translate this tweet? I don't trust any of the Barcelona news sources on Twitter. They're always talking rubbish, bit like Barcelona in general. Do I think Chelsea will sell Sterling? No. I mean, I think if a really good offer came in and Sterling was open to leave, like, let's say a £50 million offer comes in from Saudi, then yeah. Oh, we got more pictures of Caicedo. We're just going to put it up. I don't care. Why not? There is yet another image of Moises Caicedo training with Chelsea. I'm going to show you guys now. Let me just download it. Okay, here is the latest picture that has just been released of Moises Caicedo from Chelsea Football Club. Make it a bit smaller. There it is. He's training. He's not injured yet, which is good news. And for Chelsea players to not be injured is a rarity, so we're happy. England are about to reach a World Cup final in the women's football. 3-1 against Australia. Phenomenal. Big Rod Benson. Big Harry. He's in there. He's in. It's Harry. All right, here we go. Let me do a poll for you. Would you... Oh, hello, that was a little bit of an odd text. Would you sign Vlahovic now for CFC? New poll, guys. Go ahead and answer the poll if you may. It's all over. England have done it. England are in a World Cup final. I want to see the celebrations here afterwards. Is Lukaku my all-time least favourite player? Do you know what? I'd actually go as far as to say yes, he is. My all-time least favourite player. Oh, great. And now the stream starts to do the little loading thing again. I hate this. Whenever there's a big moment in any kind of sport, always. Oh, interesting. I saw a lot of people talking and asking for Vlahovic. But now the poll comes out and everyone's saying no. Not everyone. Make sure you do get your answers in so that we can have the most comprehensive outlook of you lot in the chat. England are in the final. Unbelievable. Yes to Vlahovic on the condition that Lukaku goes the other way. But the thing is, right, like, the money that Juventus are asking for on top of getting Lukaku is ridiculous. 40 million or 45 million euros or whatever it is they're asking for is absolutely bonkers. Those signings are enough. But like, are we honestly believing that we have, as much as it sounds like we're being greedy, entitled, all of these things that Chelsea fans get labelled as for whatever reason, how can we be sure that we have got enough now in the squad when the attack is looking so threadbare? All right, I'm going to turn off the TV now. It's kind of distracting me to my left. What would my Chelsea starting 11 look like in 5 years? It's actually quite a good video idea, to be fair. Can make that quite interesting. Osimhen poll. The problem is, like, everyone would say yes to Osimhen, but it's not possible. This summer, Chelsea cannot sign Victor Osimhen. If we went in for Victor Osimhen now, right, I would know that there's definitely something coming our way when it comes to financial fair play. 150 million also. Like, come on. Like, we can't break the British transfer record fee for a player twice in one window. We've already broken it twice in 1 year. Opinions on Toddles Bowley. Such a great name for him. Big Toddles. Big Rod Todd. Todd Bowley. I mean, to be fair to you, like, to be fair to him, sorry, you can't really fault him at the moment. There's been a few things off the pitch that aren't football signing related stuff that he's done that's just a bit silly. But he's spending a lot of money. He's trying to make Chelsea something special. Did I hear Simon Jordan talking about how we're not breaking the rules? Yes, but like, all you have to do is a little bit of research into Chelsea's finances and you'll know we're not breaking the rules anyway. It's more enjoyable for rival fans to just pretend that we're breaking the rules so that when they're frustrated and they're venting their frustrations at Chelsea for our spending in a bid to showcase their jealousy as fans, realistically, we've just got to be honest and... You know, if you want to educate yourself on Chelsea's financial situation, do it. But people don't want to do that. It's boring. Like, you don't want to be proved wrong about something, especially when you're frustrated that it's not your club spending the money. My least favourite player apart from Lukaku, it's not a player from Chelsea, it's Bruno Fernandes. I think that guy just does my head in. I just don't like him as a footballer. Poch is building squad depth. He is. Brighton suspended on Twitter. That can't be right. Your next Chelsea match prediction. I mean, I'll give you my early prediction for the West Ham game now. I think Chelsea win 3-0 against West Ham at the weekend. West Ham, Jared Bowen scored a really good goal against Bournemouth, but then they let Bournemouth back into the game. Needed to be more clinical. Should Mudryk be loaned? Absolutely not. Should we loan Nkunku in January? Are you guys okay? There's some very odd takes coming in here in the chat today. Guys, if you haven't voted in the poll yet, the Romelu Lukaku poll is there. You can see it on the screen. You can also vote on your screen. Do I think Mudryk will be a Chelsea legend? Look, I think Mudryk is just waiting to be unleashed. And I think a lot of, well, there's two things really. Mudryk needs to be able to start, I think. And at the moment, first game he didn't start against Liverpool. I kind of get that. I think what Pochettino did was very smart. We can't fault it. It worked. But I think overall, Mudryk needs a good run of games in the side, a goal or two, and then I think he's going to absolutely thrive. Until then, I think it's just a ticking time bomb. Expectations are obviously massive. Massive. Currently no updates in the Chelsea sphere, but I do think that is because Lavia's medical is probably happening now. Like realistically, he's probably arrived at Cobham already. Also, Crystal Palace, right, with this Olise thing, trying to say that we've been tapping him up. Like, this is 2023. Players agree personal terms with the club that they're trying to join before the clubs agree the fees. Every flipping deal, basically, nowadays. So what the hell are Crystal Palace going on about? Should Lavia. That's not the body part you were talking about. I think you meant to say Lavia, weren't you? Can we re-sign Tammy? We can re-sign Tammy, but it's just too much money, I think. And again, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. Like, I like Tammy Abraham. I did like Tammy Abraham, European champion at Chelsea, Chelsea Academy boy. But I'm not sure. I'm not convinced. For the money that Roma would demand, do I think Caicedo will start? Absolutely, Caicedo starts. Unless he gets injured in training between now and that opening game against West Ham, Caicedo absolutely starts this weekend for Chelsea. News about this Lavia medical. That's what we want right now. Why can't we buy Chiesa? That's actually a good question. Chiesa is a good option potentially for Chelsea. But he's kind of just like disappeared, you know, since the Euros. And then I think he got injured. Like Chiesa just seems to have disappeared off of people's tongues in terms of talking about a top footballer. Yo. All right, there's nearly 1,500 of you here in the stream. This is good, considering that we've not really had much news today. That's a lie. We have sealed the deal for Romeo Lavia. We're just waiting for the medical to be passed. The announcement from Chelsea, that is what we're currently waiting for. It's time to order some dinner. I think I'm going to go with the katsu curry, you know. I think it's the winner. I want something a bit saucy. It's also bloody tasty. Look, I've got my cash in the back of my phone. Not carrying my card out with me. Yeah, you know what? We're going to feast, guys. We're going to get a katsu curry with chicken. No bags, because we don't need plastic. Very spicy. So I'm going to add the chilies in there for me, which I like. Then we're going to get a bit of sushi on the side. This is just a wonderful idea. It's just a really good idea, isn't it? Spicy shrimp crispy rice. No. What else could we get? Speciality rolls. Now we're talking. Chicken katsu teriyaki. All right, mate. Now I'm going to get a fireball, mate. Get yourself a flipping fireball. Add that in there. Order. Order in the court. Boom. Oh, no. I can't order it. I've not put the right address in. Guys, this is not good. Cancel. Cancel. I accidentally made the order. I was going to send it to my house, not the office. That's not good. Change location. Will you send me the location? And I'll be right there. Okay, ordered. Guys, it's that time again. I need a pee. So we're going to mute the mic. We're going to go to the Waz. I won't be very long. All right, normal service is resumed. We're back. Ladies and gentlemen, we only lost 100 people. No, 200 people for the toilet break. Damn it. We're here, though. Don't worry. I'm back. I'm back in the building. I pee at the same time each day. Isn't that just like one of those things that like a weirdo does? Like if you decide that there's a specific time of day that you go to the toilet, whether you need to go or not, like that is potentially psychopathic behavior. In my opinion of how this could be, that could suggest that we have someone with a few issues on our hands. Right, we're gonna end the poll now for Dusan Vlahovic. 68% of you say that Chelsea should not sign Dusan Vlahovic, which I guess a lot of that has to do with Nicholas Jackson. So right now, Chelsea do need a striker. Chelsea do need a striker. I think we can't deny that. We do need a striker. Who should it be? Because as much as Jackson is really good, we do need some backup. We need some backup in here. Any news for Ziyech? Let me check Twitter and see what the updates are. Can't believe England women's are in a World Cup final. That is big. Well played. Congrats. Tony and Jan. A lot of people saying Tony and Jan. What a way to try and get my attention. What about re-signing Saul Niguez, guys? What do you think? Oh, poor guy, man. Like, I feel sorry for him. He just wasn't very good, was he? Like, there's a couple of moments where he did all right. I think there was a couple of times in the game against Brentford where he was remotely impressive, I think. GB to the bathroom. Here we go. I'm already back from the bathroom. Am I playing Fantasy League? Yes, I am. And the link is in the description if you want to go and follow. But more importantly, if you want to go and subscribe to the new YouTube channel with me and Eunice, Shootout. It launched yesterday and we already have 10,000 subscribers nearly. We are very close, I think, to 10K subscribers. Let me just do a little Google YouTube search. We're 520 subscribers away from 10K subs in the first day, which would be amazing. And the video's got 11,000 views in 18 hours. So actually, no, it's 18 hours, not even a full day. The channel's been live for 18 hours and we're nearly on 10K. That is a mega start. The Megalodon. Seen Lawrence McKenna as, wow, Lawrence, you have feasted us here. Chelsea have to win the Premier League, question mark. It's an hour-long video. Very cool. I'm going to watch that later. I swear whenever I do these streams, like, there's no Chelsea news that comes through. It's very quiet. Does that mean that we are very soon to receive some updates on Lavia's medical? Just quickly preparing something. How's it going, bro? Nice to see you, Shardul Mandloy. How many points did I get for game week 1? I actually didn't do too badly, to be fair, on game week 1. I got 78 points, I think, which is above average. I always try and base my FPL on hoping that I don't do what I did last season, which was have Haaland on the bench and then forget about FPL for the first 3 weeks of the season. So by the time I actually came back, there was no real point of me trying. But yeah, I got 78 points in game week 1. Haaland as my captain, obviously, was the main one. Saka did well, Saliba, Onana, Chilwell, Reece James. Jackson only got me 1 point because he got booked. João Pedro got me 7. Looking at my team now, let me have a look. Pick my team for this game week. A lot of my basically all of my players, apart from my Man City players, are playing away. But I do think all of the players I've got will do well. I think Man United will get a result at Tottenham. I think Chelsea will beat West Ham away. I think Arsenal will beat Palace away, and I think Brighton will beat Wolves. So actually, I'm not going to really change anything in my team for this week. You don't even have Haaland in your team. Well, aren't you a flipping edgy one? That's the hipster thing to do this season. If you don't have Erling Haaland in your team, then you are a hipster. You're a gangster. All right, we're going to remove the Caicedo. We're going to remove this Caicedo picture for now so that we can have the GBFC logo back in there. How about that? Wow, Arsenal ready to sell 4 players, including forgotten record signing to fund further transfers. Pepe. Why do Arsenal not get stick for wasting all their money on Pepe? Because they should. Like, he was flipping awful. Like, what an awful signing Pepe was for Arsenal, by the way. Atrocious. Haaland's so mainstream, bro. So true, isn't it? Why don't I upload on George Benson Travel anymore? Because my principles with YouTube are, if I'm not feeling the content, I don't make the content. I just let a 1 million subscriber channel die. It's just the way I am. I'm not in it for the numbers. I'm in it because I like making content, and the numbers come as a result of doing what you love. It's a tip a lot of YouTubers could probably learn from when they get downbeat about numbers. We will regret selling Gallagher. Potentially, there is a strong possibility that Chelsea might sell Conor Gallagher and he goes on to be a really top Premier League midfielder for someone. I'm seeing people say in the chat that Eli Wahi's chosen West Ham. That'd be interesting if he joins West Ham this week and he manages to get registered. Wow, the Brighton account has been deactivated. Brighton Hove Albion's official Twitter has been deactivated. Todd Boehly really has destroyed them, hasn't he? Man, what have I said about people spamming? It doesn't last. I saw the first message. I have to put it 50 times. Is Olise to Chelsea close? Yes. Yesterday, Chelsea activated the release clause of Michael Olise. Let me get the tweet back up here. Ollie Mitchell, cheers, mate. Saw you in Mirror Lounge once in Bali. God, I haven't been there for ages. That must have been a long time ago. So this is the latest news that we have got on Olise. Just make it a bit bigger. Chelsea are finalising the details of an agreement for Crystal Palace forward Michael Olise. Simon Phillips' tweet from Sky Sports. Yeah, this Olise deal, obviously Chelsea right now, they're going to be negotiating with Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace have tried to insinuate, I guess you could say, that Chelsea have been tapping up, which is something that we haven't heard probably since Ashley Cole to Chelsea back in the day when Arsenal were trying to do Chelsea for tapping up Ashley Cole. Nowadays, it's very normal for players to speak to the potential new clubs through their agents and whatever, because, well, it just, especially with someone like Olise who's got an injury, Chelsea really want to understand the real extent of that injury, because Crystal Palace are going to be very coy about it because it could stop a deal happening. But also, I think Palace will probably be frustrated that they've even got that release clause in the first place, because it's very cheap for a 21-year-old with that much potential. Tell you one player that Chelsea were linked with quite a lot before, Jonathan David from Lille. That's gone very quiet. We haven't been linked with him for a while. Brighton Twitter is still active. Is it? I thought it went down. Is there any more news? No, not had anything for a while. How long will Olise be out for if he signs for Chelsea? Rumour has it that he would be fit to play again at the beginning of October. He should probably be out with this hamstring injury until the end of September. How much would you sell the George Benson Travel Channel? Give me £100,000, and you can have it. If not, I'll keep it there forever. But you're not allowed to take the 1 million subscriber button. That's staying with me. Would I take Eden Hazard on a 1-year contract to help with experience with the younger players? Look, if Eden Hazard wanted to play at Chelsea for 5-10 grand a week to train, just be there amongst the squad, I'd be absolutely all for it. And if we don't sign any number 10s, and we've got enough spaces in the squad based on sales and whatever, register him, why not? Who knows? Seeing Eden Hazard play and score another goal for Chelsea in a competitive football match would actually be sensational. But the truth of the matter is, right, this guy hasn't got it anymore. He's not got it. He's not even been offered, I think the best deal we heard was like there were talks that he was going to go to Inter Miami. It didn't materialise. He's not had any offers other than some average clubs in Belgium. Deschamps or any French managers should thank us for their future World Cup. I mean, yeah, we're going to have, with Olise joining, there's going to be 8 French national team players in our squad, which is actually mad when you think about it. That is a lot of French contingent at Stamford Bridge. Let's check up on this old food delivery, shall we? 25 minutes, you're having a bloody laugh, mate. It's taking its sweet time. Am I going to watch the England final? Yes, of course. Although, what time is it on? Because Chelsea are also playing on Sunday. Hazard lost his explosiveness. I mean, Jose Mourinho was right, in a way, because, well, he said that if referees don't clamp down on the treatment of Eden Hazard, there will be no Eden Hazard one day. And I'm not entirely sure if what Mourinho said is the reason. I don't know if it's simply because Hazard was fouled so many times and not really protected that he became the player that he now is and not the player that he was. I do think it was more about how hungry Hazard was. And you could argue in 2 ways. Hungry because he maybe was overweight too often. Hungry in the sense of, was he hungry? Did he really want it? He got the Real Madrid move, didn't start very well. He turned up for that first pre-season overweight, couldn't really get into the team. Then when he did, it just wasn't the same. And he just seemed to give up. It looks like he gave up, to be fair. Which is tough to see when you're an Eden Hazard lover, I guess you could say, when you love Eden Hazard as a footballer. And when he left Chelsea, like, he was absolutely unbelievable, breathtaking when he was on the field. That final, the final game he played for Chelsea, I was there in Baku for that game when we beat Arsenal. And he was above and beyond the best player on the pitch. Pedro was amazing that day. Giroud was amazing that day. But Eden Hazard was just sublime. And then after that, it just went so south. He should have stayed at Chelsea. But then again, the money that we got for him, the deals that we're doing right now, wouldn't be possible without that money. Seeing you guys argue with each other in the chat is funny sometimes. Okay, Hobbit Gamer, I've seen you spamming this comment. Like, infrequently, but frequently. How would you feel about Caicedo being sold after his loan? Look, we've said it already in this stream at a point. It's not possible for Chelsea to fit every single one of these midfielders in the team. It's just not possible. So there is going to be a couple of them maybe that just get sold before they've even really had a chance. Caicedo is a really interesting one because I think he's got so much ability, and I think at Leicester the one thing I really want to see and understand about Caicedo whilst he's on this loan move is, what are you? And what I mean by that is, are you a 10? What kind of 8 do you want to be? What are you? And I think Caicedo should hopefully this season find that out. And as a result, Chelsea will find that out. He scores a lot of goals. If you look at him in the Euros, the under-21 Euros, he was the top goal scorer, player of the tournament. Was absolutely magnificent. So let's see what happens with Cesare Caicedo. Neymar or Ronaldinho? Ronaldinho. He was one of the first players that I ever remember just being mesmerised by watching on a football pitch. Same goes for Santos. How does he fit into this team? I think with Santos, you can see already he kind of knows what kind of player he is. I think he is a holding midfielder. He can still progress with the ball. Great ball carrier. Brilliant at breaking up the play. He's very composed. For someone of his age, I like that about Santos in pre-season. I think that's probably why also Pochettino rated him, is because he didn't try too hard. You know, a lot of Chelsea youngsters will know that there is a big chance that Chelsea are going to spend big money in their position. And sometimes you can overdo it to try and prove a point personally, when actually what Pochettino wants to see is, can you take my instructions and are you being a team player? And I think Santos really proved that that is what he can do. He can take on instructions, he knows what he's being told to do, and he executed it very well. Oh, wow, okay. Big news. Potentially some big news here coming from Turkey. Hakim Ziyech has passed his Galatasaray medical and will leave Chelsea this summer. Let me upload this one to the deck for you so you can see it. So Hakim Ziyech is on the verge of leaving Chelsea. Let's put this one up. Hakim Ziyech has passed his Galatasaray medical and will leave Chelsea this summer. I'm going to try and pronounce this name. At Yagos Abunkwoglu. I think I might have probably nailed that one. Maybe. Probably not. How much for Ziyech? I actually don't know the price right now. Come on, give us some Lavia updates. Let's see him pass his medical on stream. The food is about 20 minutes away still. 18 minutes apparently. Do love these streams, guys. So chill, isn't it? Like, just sat here chatting. Anything above 8 million, I'm stoked. Yeah, I mean, I think 10 mil, anything more than 10 mil, I think we've done well. I'm looking around to see if we can see anything. Interesting. No sign of a fee. 15 to 20 million is cool for me. If Chelsea get between 15 and 20 million for Hakim Ziyech, then we have absolutely nailed it. Give Eunice a bell. I won't be giving Eunice a bell now because we're filming after this stream for a video tonight. 2 videos tonight, one on Shootout and another on GBFC. He's actually sent me a voice note though, and I will listen to that now. There's silence because I'm listening to Eunice's voice note. We're just brainstorming. I'll give you the updates. Eunice's voice note was very much about brainstorming for today's video on Shootout. We're planning stuff. I'll give you a clue. I'll give you a hint. It's Liverpool featured. It's a Liverpool-based video today. Oh, Hakim Ziyech has passed his Galatasaray medical and will leave Chelsea this summer. It's now been confirmed by Simon Phillips, Chelsea. This is great. The more news that we see about Chelsea getting rid of players that just weren't really ever going to be a part of the squad. We said it already. Ziyech was there just taking up a car parking space at Cobham. There was no way back into the team for him under Pochettino, even if we would have seen him as a potential number 10. Chelsea weren't interested. Poch wasn't interested. The fee is something I'm still looking out for. There's not really much info on that right now. But I don't think it's going to be big. It's not going to be a massive fee at all for Ziyech, I'm afraid. So yeah, the title of the stream, we've got Chelsea Exodus coming. So I guess this kind of facilitates that. All right, guys, I think I'm going to wrap up the stream here. My food is going to be here in a bit. I'm going to eat for a little while. And then I'm also going to prepare the next video on GBFC. So I just want to say a massive thank you for the super chats on this stream. If you are in the stream and you haven't yet hit the like button, please be sure to do so that we can try and get it over 1,000 likes. And I'll probably do these every day this week just to sit and have a chat with you guys, answer your questions. We can see the chat now on the screen and all that stuff. And I figured out the way that we can get the news up on the screen for you guys each time. So yeah, thank you for watching. Stay tuned to GBFC in a couple of hours. We will have a new video, and subscribe to Shootout, mine and Eunice's new channel. Link at the top of the description. We're close to 10k subscribers, and there will be another video there later on tonight. So thank you guys, and I'll see you all in a bit.